Dear students, good morning. Today in this online class, let us see what is the meaning of reading and how we will inculcate the habit of reading among the students, and what is the importance of reading in the process of teaching. And all these things have been given in your paper 4, pedagogy of English, and this particular unit is classroom transaction process. In this unit, what we will understand is the what are the objectives of reading, what is the meaning of the reading, what is the definition of reading, how what steps are there while we inculcate teaching, while we inculcate the habit of reading among the students, and all these things. And you see the material that is presented here, and you note it down, and it is one of the important chapters, and you may get essay question from this chapter. This is Unit 4, Classroom Transaction Process. So let us see what we will learn in this topic. Meaning of teaching reading, methods of teaching reading, and what other things we will learn here is definition of teaching reading, and all these things we will learn in this unit. Here the list of things what we will learn in this unit have been given. You see, first thing, that is meaning and concept of reading skill. What is the meaning or concept of reading skill? You see, here it is given. Look at the words and understand. Only reading loud without understanding is not said to be reading. You see, some text we are able to read. Suppose some of us can read Sanskrit text, Hindi text, but most of us, we may not know the sense, the meaning of the particular text. That is not said to be reading. Reading skill is the ability to look at and understand the text on a sheet of paper, wall, signboard, computer screen, mobile, or any other reading material. Reading means the person or the child, when he understands what is written, if he is able to understand the script, then only that is said to be reading. Mere reading, that is not said to be reading. And characters of reading skill have been given here. You see, list of characters of reading skill. Text based, it should be characters, it should be text based. Reading should be text based. It should be purposeful. And third one is requires cognitive skills, and it can be oral or silent. Reading can be either it may be oral or it might be silent, and can be done at a varied speed. These are the characteristics of reading skill. One, it is text based, not the code based. Reading means the text of a particular language, and it should be, reading should be a purposeful one. That means just for reading wall posters and all these things, that is not said to be advertisements. These things are not said to be reading. Reading means the child should read the content, and that should be a part and parcel of his course. That should be a purposeful one. And another character, it requires cognitive skills. And cognitive skills means you should get it, and you should understand that particular content. This reading, another character is it can be oral. Oral means you may read it aloud, or you may read it silently. Both reading can be done in both the ways. And another thing, can be done varied speeds according to the needs, to make the others understand. Sometimes he may narrate it speedily, he may read it speedily, and he may read it slowly. Speed may not be need not be constant for all the purposes. These five are said to be characteristics of reading skill. So, reading skill means just for the sake of fun or something, reading the advertisements and something, the posters and all these things, that is not said to be reading. Reading means it should be purposeful. And another thing, importance of reading skills. What is the importance of this reading skill? It is a source of information and knowledge. Importance means it is a source of information. Some information should be there and it includes some knowledge. And second one is it is a source of learning and education. Reading means it is a source of learning and education. And it helps in, the fourth one, helps in developing writing, listening and speaking skills. One reading skill, it is interlinked with the other three skills. That is reading, writing, listening and speaking skills. It is interlinked with the other three skills. It develops mind. Reading develops mind means it helps in maturity of mind. And the sixth one, helpful in develop creativity. Reading, when it goes through reading, one type of creativity should be developed in the child. These are the characteristics of reading. These should be developed in our classroom. And another thing, reading means only mere just for fun and other things, and for other purposes. If we read, that is not said to be reading. Reading means all these characteristics should be there. It should be useful, it should be needful to the student and should be interlinked with the other skills, that is listening, speaking and writing. They also to some extent influence the reading. And let us see the objectives of teaching reading. The objectives of teaching reading is to enable the students to read and understand the text. This is the first objective. The student should be able to read and at the same time they should understand the text what is written. And another objective is to enable the students to read aloud with correct pronunciation. Pronunciation is to be observed and pronunciation is to be corrected wherever it is needed. And third objective is to enable students to read silently. Silent reading ability should be developed among the students than loud reading. During silent reading, they can read more and more pages than it is possible in loud reading. And to enable students to read at varying speed depends on the purpose. And speed will also vary according to the purpose of the text. And these objectives should be keep in our mind while inculcating them, while teaching them, while our effort is taken to develop their, while the effort is to be taken while we present them this teaching skill. Since English language is unphonetical one, this pronunciation and spelling are different. That's why this pronunciation should be taken care of. To enable, and fifth one, to enable the students to develop different reading strategies. Different strategies for various types of students. Say for brilliant students and dullards and all these things, we should have certain strategies. And then sixth one, to enable students to guess the meaning of unfamiliar words. At the same time, unfamiliar words may come across during their text. You see, Rama is a worthy boy, that's why he could get a good percentage of marks in the particular examination. When we say here worthy, if he doesn't know the meaning of worthy, in the another sentence that is there, he got Rama secured good marks. Means Vardhi means something that is a gifted one, gifted word. Vardhi means a good student. That's why during reading you should be able to know the sense of the unfamiliar words also. And enable the seventh one is to enable the students to analyze and evaluate the ideas in a text. During the reading, students, another capacity what he has to get is you should analyze the text and you should evaluate the ideas in a text. That is the thing. Now here let us see the types of reading on the basis of voice, reader, understanding. The reading has been divided into various types. These types are divided on the basis of voice of the reader, and these types of reading are said to be model reading, reading aloud, silent reading, intensive reading, extensive reading, and sixth one is supplement reading. Model reading, it is done by the teacher. You should read as in keeping all these things, pronunciation, intonation, and all these things. Teacher keep all these things into consideration. Since it is unphonetical language, the sound and the letter and the sound are different at so many cases. That's why teacher should read it in a model that should be printed on the mind of the student. And reading aloud, it is done by the student. Student, they read the text aloud in the classroom, and its purpose is teacher corrects the pronunciation. Whenever students commits any mistake, that will be corrected. And silent reading, it is meant for to get the sense, they get the meaning of that particular content, very useful. Intense reading means almost the student will get immersed while he goes on reading, and he gets the very intensive sense of that particular passage. Extensive reading, it is meant for he makes some conclusions and he will understand the content. The supplement reading, is meant for without the help of the teacher, very simple text will be given for each unit, and the supplement reading student should do on his own, and he will try to understand sentence by sentence by using his by using his knowledge what he acquired up to then. That's why these types of this reading has been divided into 6 parts, and accordingly reading will be observed follow during inculcating the habit of reading. That will be said to be purposeful reading. So let us see what we will learn in this topic. Meaning of teaching reading, methods of teaching reading, and what other things we will learn here is definition of teaching reading, and all these things we will learn in this unit. Now let us see the categorization of reading, types of reading, otherwise it is said to be types of reading. Reading into how many types the skill of reading has been categorized. Let us see in the coming video. Reading has been divided into 6 types. First one is model reading, and then second one is reading aloud, and third one is silent reading, and fourth one is intensive reading, and fifth one is extensive reading, and sixth one is supplement reading. Model reading means it is model aloud reading by the teacher, so as to influence the students how to pronounce those particular words and how to the intonation, the pronunciation, all these things, those should be inculcated to the students. and reading aloud, that is the purpose of reading aloud. And silent reading, they should be habituated, it is very important. Silent reading, during silent reading, they grasp the sense of the particular sense of that particular paragraph or the particular content. And intense reading means almost the students they get immersed in the reading and they try to grasp the meaning. And extensive reading, it is almost they read some other things which are related to the paragraph and they get some knowledge regarding the content. And the supplement reading, it is the students read on their own and without the help of their teacher they get the sense of this supplementary reading. Thus this reading is divided into six types as per the opinion of the educationists of the present era. That's why we should keep all these things types of reading, model reading, model reading. Since this is unphonetical language, our model reading that influence the students. That's why we should be well versed with each and every word and the pronunciation and all these things. If we commit any mistake during the this model reading, that will be influenced on the mind of the student, and in the coming and in the next whenever such type of words they come, students pronounce in the same way as as a teacher pronounce, and that is the that's why teacher should be very careful while giving a model reading. And reading aloud, that is done by the student. When the student reads aloud, a teacher should be very cautious, and wherever he commits mistake, since it is no particular sound to the particular letter, that's why his pronunciation should be taken care of, and that should be corrected then there itself, and he should not do the mistake again. And the silent reading, it is meant for to grasp the sense of the book. And now here let us see during inculcating the reading skill, the teacher has to keep in his mind uh, before going to reading the pre-reading skill, what care he has to take, and while reading goes on, what care he has to take, and the third one, post reading skill, and during the time what a teacher has to do. Keeping all these things, this process should go on. That's why now let us see these 3 pages while presenting reading skill. See here, the chart has been given pages or activities of reading lesson. So pre-reading pages and activities. While reading pages and what activities we need to do. And post-reading pages, what activities we need to do. These things these are to be observed while we presenting them the reading cell. The ultimate aim is that what a teacher has to expect from the students is should be able to read, and at the same time he should be able to grasp the student should be able to grasp the sense of the particular text. Then only the reading will be fruitful. Otherwise, mere reading for the sake of reading, that means meaningless reading. You can't get the sense of the text, then that is not said to be reading. That's why this various pages, this has been divided into various pages in the reading the lesson. That's why these all things should be taken care of. That's why a teacher has to divide his lesson during the phase of during these 3 pages. Certain activities are to be performed. Those have been introduced here, and the teacher has to follow those steps for making the students understand more clearly the text. Now let us see the activities those are to be followed. Here, another thing, techniques to increase speed of reading. Read. Students at the early stage, they read slowly, gradually, they develop their speed of reading. And at the early stage, at least it takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes to understand each sentence. But gradually, they can grasp, they can get the sense of that particular sentence within few seconds. If they don't try, if they don't practice like that throughout their life, that will not be possible to understand the content. That is what is written on the script. That's why certain techniques have been prescribed by the experts who made research on the to develop the speed of to increase the speed of reading. Here they suggested praising, skimming, scanning, keyword reading. In such a way, this reading it should be praised in a praisal manner. Then skimming means that will be the content will be something will be divided into small parts. Skimming means skimming milk, you might have known. Skimming means just like they spray the milk and they spray in small drops, and that will be dried and that will be made powder. Skimming means to digest the sense of the particular word. They analyze into small parts, and so that they can understand, and they scan the sense of that particular sentence. And then keyword reading. Certain keywords will be there for every passage, and those keywords will be a big clue for the readers, and because of those keywords they can grasp the meaning of the particular text. So keeping all these things in mind, teacher has to take every care, and in such a way teacher has to make understand the content in the targeted language. Otherwise, especially mother tongue, all these things are not necessary. The teaching of mother tongue and presenting the mother tongue, that is a different one. But whereas while we and the last one in the teaching reading skill is evaluation of reading skills. How do we evaluate to what extent the particular student has got the sense of that particular topic? Observation of questions, evaluation. While we evaluating them, we put them certain questions, and so that we can come to a conclusion to what extent that student has got grasped the sense of that meaning. Now testing their understanding at superficial level, multiple choice questions, short answer questions, true or false questions, all these things, they will give us a clue whether our purpose has been served and to what extent our effort has yielded fruits. And in this way, reading and at the same time understanding the content, this should be kept in our mind, and accordingly a foreign language is to be imported and introduced to the students. Whereas for the native speakers, the native language, it doesn't matter. They have a vast something